altars, and for the grandkids, most of us could not be at the funeral, so we just wanted to take a moment. This is more for my side of the family, but for those of you that didn't know my grandma, just to celebrate her really quickly. And I want to do this in a fun way, so I came up with one idea. So Johnny, if you don't mind just grabbing the poster that's over there. It's over on the side in the bag. But how can you make it fun to talk about somebody who's passed away? But it's very celebratory because Grandma lived to 92 years old, and so she lived a very long life. And we want to share some happy memories from her because I actually talked to all the grandkids, and happy memories were all anybody had. So if you can take this out, what I did for Grandma, I decided to celebrate her with something that was my favorite memory of her, which is a crossword puzzle. So I used to do crosswords with Grandma every day, and I thought, Jenny, if you want to take the marker, and I'm just going to we're going to fill out this crossword together, and it'll only take a few minutes, but. I think you will, because you gave me most of them. So Grandma's full name, which all the grandkids always thought was a really funny name, was Two Down. Her maiden name, first and last, Bertha Baginski. Yep. I'm gonna see if you can keep up with me.
That's a fun one.
And she grew up in the home state of 16 across. There you go.
Pennsylvania.
What was the city again?
Oh, the city.
Shenandoah, Pennsylvania, yes. Which she shared stories about her home a lot, all the time. She was a grandmother to, hold on, I just lost my place. 15 down, number of grandchildren. You know what, I got this wrong too and I had to cross it off, but it's 15 down. 7 grandchildren. And 4 down, great-grandchildren. I'm putting you on the spot here. The oldest grandkid, 1 down, was Dana.
No. Oh, Dana.
Yeah, I'm right on that. Come on, Mom, give me some faith. And the youngest grandkid was 13 down. No, sorry, the youngest great-grandkid, spanning the generation, yep. Yep, that's right. Got it. So the number one thing when I asked the grandkids that unanimously everyone remembered about Grandma was a very special location in her backyard. Or sorry, in Yuma, which was her backyard. So that is the answer for 7 across. Yep. So Grandma and Grandpa were pretty much obsessed with plants and animals of every sort. So 14 across is the Latin for plants and animals. I made this hard. Which is flora and fauna. There's a couple tricky ones. Which Grandma would appreciate because she helped me do crosswords almost every day and she knew all the ones I didn't. Yep. Don't worry if you don't get them. Many people told me that they remembered watering every variety of Grandma's favorite plant, which was 6 across. A plant that needs water. Yep, that's right. Caitlin remembered all of the fruit trees that Grandma had in her backyard. Chris remembered practicing golf chips in the backyard and getting in trouble when he would hit them into the cacti. I also remember the bleeding heart flowers in her Minneapolis home and collecting the acorns that fell from the trees in the local park while Grandma would explain to me how trees worked. She was full of facts. Kelly remembered the time we gave Grandma an orchid and it started on fire. Which was actually a funny story.
That is a good story.
Grandpa was the one more obsessed with animals. We all shared at Grandpa's funeral the famous Get in the Car story, where on April Fool's, Grandpa pretended there was a rattlesnake in a box.
He also killed my pet grasshopper.
He what?
He killed my pet grasshopper.
Oh, I didn't know that one. Okay, he killed your pet grasshopper.
I thought it was like a grasshopper, so he stomped on it. My cousin and I named it.
Really? Okay. Well, he was always trying to freak us out with animals in one way or another. But Jenny, I thought one nice thing you remembered was that during that snake moment, Grandma was winking with us and playing all along, even though Grandpa didn't know that she knew. Dana and Shane, who aren't here today, remembered searching for hummingbirds in the rose garden, another animal memory. There were a couple of things you could always count on when going to Grandma's house. One was 9 across. Nope. Something they gave us too much of. That's right. Jenny actually joked with me that as the grandkids, we were pretty much all destined to become chubby kids in that house because Grandma was always giving us candy. But whatever you call it, we will always have sweet tooths for life. Couple more. Everyone had the same story when I asked of baking 10 across. You already said this one. Yep, with Grandma. Chris recalled racing on bikes to pick up the loaves of banana bread, and one time even face planting because he was so excited to get the loaves back home. He was taunting.
He was looking back and taunting me. It's instant karma.
Okay. And a few of the grandkids remembered something they used to die for in the jacuzzi, which was 11 down. Pennies.
Pennies.
Yep. And Jenny and Chris remember getting sundaes every time they got out. Finally, Grandma had one really important hobby that will live on for generations. My dad touched on this a little bit at her funeral, but it was her ability to create amazing things with her 12 across. Close. What do you use to knit? There you go. Okay, good. Thanks, Johnny. Teamwork. This is your first of teamwork throughout your life. Yes. Everyone listed things they remember that Grandma made. Scarves, hats, Chris's Phoenix Suns hat, sweaters. Kelly had some funny cat sweaters, college or high school colored blankets, Chris's teddy bear sweater, pillows with their names on it, the Christmas village, and Christmas ornaments that will forever adorn our Christmas trees. All of the grandkids also pointed out how special they thought it was that Grandma knit hats for premature babies born in the local hospital and even sent them to children in need around the world in places like Africa. Really neat thing that my grandma did. Jenny remembered a story when she was around 4 years old. Do you want me to tell this one? Okay. You said you wanted me to. They were at Grandma and Grandpa swimming and changing out of their swimsuits. Chris kept coming in the bathroom, and Jenny walked out into the living room completely naked.
I was like 4.
And said, okay, we should have said that.
Yeah, we should have said
And said, Grandma, Chris won't give me my privacy. Which was hilarious because she was already completely exposed. And apparently, I had never heard that story, but apparently Grandma loved telling that story.
Telling everyone. Yeah.
And Grandma had one more hobby which she could beat us all at, which was her voracious love of reading, which made her a true 17 across. This is a hard one. You're never gonna get this. It's bibliophile,
Okay.
which means lover of books. Sometimes many at once, and all of the grandkids remembered Grandma both helping to teach us how to read and giving and receiving books to her from Grandma. Her mind, her mind was so sharp when she left, and my other grandma who died of Alzheimer's, I actually like comparing this to her because my other grandma's mind failed before her body, but Grandma's mind was so ahead of her body. And I remember her being frustrated by that at times. There were places she couldn't go, such as when I studied in Australia, and most notably for the spreading of Grandpa's ashes in Pearl Harbor, which was a beautiful memory that many of us here have. But the reason I bring that up, having moved to LA over 13 years ago, and Jenny moving to Arizona, and Chris to Oklahoma, and my sister Kelly to Seattle, our visits with Grandma became less frequent over the years, but that made them all the more special. This last Thanksgiving, we all went to see her at the Elder Care Center, and you could definitely tell that it was probably the last time we were going to see Grandma. Well, we obviously hoped it wouldn't be true. We just knew that she knew who we were still, which was amazing. I mean, her mind lasted till her last dying days, and that was incredible. So that's what I want to end this on. And Chris put it very well. I want to take one of your quotes, Chris. Grandma was always so proud of everyone's accomplishments. She always said, so-and-so is so smart. Just look at this picture of what they did. She really remembered the accomplishments and characteristics of all of the grandkids and spoke so proudly of everyone. And that's why I want to bring that up for her today, because Grandma would have been so proud of you, Jenny. And even though she couldn't have physically been here, even if she was still around, I just know that this would have been like a magical day for her to see pictures of. And so I want to end on this celebratory note. My parents told me the news of my grandma after I'd done a big event in LA a couple weeks ago, they waited till the event was over to tell me. But moments later, they told me some other amazing news, that my own mother is going to be a grandma, and I'm going to be an uncle for the first time. So Caitlin, who told me I could share this news, has just learned that she's pregnant and will be bringing another grandkid into the world. And I just want to end with that because it's kind of an amazing story of the great circle of life that we all live in. So we want to remember Grandma today, and I want to do a toast to our grandma and to Caitlin, and mostly to Jenny and Johnny and everybody here. So thanks.
You're welcome. I'm going to say one thing real quick about Bertha. Hopefully I can keep it together. But, jeez. Really, this public speaking and crying thing, I'm a big guy and I shouldn't cry and all that stuff. Anyway, oh jeez. No, I don't think you know what I'm going to say. Okay, I'm just going to say it really fast, get through it, and then we'll move on. Okay, so getting parents' approval to marry their daughter is very important. Oh, God. But to get Bertha's approval was even better, because she turned to me, like, no, it might have been this Christmas. She turned to me this Christmas. She said, I know I haven't known you long, but I really, really like you. That meant a lot. Okay, so moving on. Jenny.